It's our van tip out, so come and have a look what I've bought today. I didn't get loads, but I got some nice things, so have a look, see what you think. And when we were talking about the tips that we were giving about choosing your categories of what to sell, so just honing in on those when you're out buying, I think you'll tell from what I've picked up the kinds of things that I look for, so when I'm out. So to make it easy for me, I am not looking at everything and what I can make money on generally, but I'm just looking for stuff that sort of is in my categories that I like to pick up. So I'll show you what I've got. I'll get these picture frames off first. So this is an oak picture frame. I just bought it for the frame. It's got lovely decoration there, and some really nice old glass, but I'm just having that for the frame really. So I'll leave that down there. I probably won't leave that down there. I'll put it over here so the glass doesn't fall out. That's it. And then I picked up another one. It's very delicate. So how I got that back in one piece, I don't know. But that's a nice big old antique frame. I'll leave that there. So I've got a little idea to use the frames on those. That's why I've picked up those. I'll show you. Oh, that's heavier than I thought. A little iron bridge, oil on, Dorothy Lee. Oh, that's handy on the back. Look, Dorothy Lee. I just bought it because it's iron bridge. So obviously that's good stock for the centre down there. Somebody wants a piece of. It's quite touristy down at the antique centre. So if somebody wants a cheap piece of art of the iron bridge where they visited. So Wrekin Art Society, Dorothy Lee, signed on the front. I reckon sort of probably 80s, somewhere around there. And the bridge is now red. So anything that's got the bridge in black, and I can't remember the date, but it was sort of like maybe 2020. I'll have to have a look when they painted the bridge. But anything with the darker bridge on, the black bridge, is slightly older. Little paint palette which I'll do something with. I might blackboard paint it and use it in the shop as I'll go back. Use it as a bit of a sign in the shop. So blackboard paint, you could have paint on both sides and then chalk and have that hanging up in your shop or on your stall at the flea market or car boot, wherever you are, maybe saying that you accept cards or you do deliveries or whatever it might be. In the shop it might be something you're loving this month, so that's quite nice, useful. I picked up another G-clamp because why not? I picked loads of these up last week. And vintage scissors always sell well, so I always pick those up. Those ones have got nice red handles, so they're good. Picked these couple up. This one was cracked, but I just want it for the frame. And then that one was $1.50, and I just bought that for the frame as well. It's got the name on the back just of the print. So those are them. Another frame with a portrait in. It's actually lovely, but I do love the frame, so I'd be half tempted to take the picture out, but I think they should stay together actually. But that is a lovely gesso frame. Can you tell when you're looking at these gilt frames? Obviously look at the back, so it looks obviously old, and then you can get the gilt frames that are plastic, but these are the older ones that you're looking out for. And they've got the gesso. This is all the detail around here. It's had losses here, but can you see it's more chalky? So if that, I mean, you would tell from a distance if that was a plastic frame or a more modern frame, but just to start to tell the difference. And try and pick those ones up if you can. They're lovely, and I don't mind the losses on that, so that would be fine. And then I got this lovely, I'll show it you in the box, another gesso gilt frame with a nice piece of old glass in, and you see the lovely detail on that there. This chorizo roaster, so it's a tabletop one, heat goes underneath, put your chorizo in there. And one of the other tips we talked about this week was finding another use for things. So yes, it's useful, and if you're going to cook chorizo on your table a lot, then that's good. But if you want to find another use, and label it up with the other use, so label it up saying what it is now or what its original purpose was, and then ideal to repurpose as, or something like that. So it could be soap dish, could be nice for toothbrushes as well in the bathroom, to lay your toothbrushes over there, toothpaste or soaps, or anything else you can think of. So put down on your labels your alternative uses, so give people the idea. I won't get all of these out. This is a set of 4 cups and saucers, French cups and saucers. There's 1 spare saucer, so obviously would have had 6 originally. So those are pretty Art Deco style there, with the handle, you can see, really Art Deco. So those are nice. Oh, and the little bottle came in with the Born Denby, and these are little ink bottles. So I'll show you. Can you see at the top? So that's where the ink would have been poured out. So if you see a little, and they're stoneware, and it's still got the cork in the top. And you can get those in all shapes and sizes. They come in usually cream, woody, and brown. And it's Welsh pottery, Tony Hudson, and it's got TH here. So if you know your pottery stamps, and it's the Saltings pottery, which it says under there, and it's Welsh, can't pronounce their name. Little brutalist vase with the fold over, detail blue, nice colouring. So that's probably sort of between £15 and £20 if you're reselling that one. Actually, love that little palette. It's got no markings on it, but it's a lovely colour, just like the colour, and it's useful. Can have a little plant in there or something like that. So nice baby blue with a mottle, but there's no markings on it, maker's mark. And then that I quite liked, little needle point. You know, in the new space I'm doing in Ironbridge, there's a bit of a nautical theme with the oars and the fenders, the rope fenders sold yesterday. So could have that hanging up on the oar, little nautical theme. So putting things together. Nice letter tray. But now when you mark this up, or if you styled it up in your shop, style it up with could be sort of sheet music or magazines, something like that. If you've got magazines you're selling a bundle, put them in there and then mark it up so perfect size for whatever it might be. That there, these little the Pearsons, this one is, looks like the Moira one, and rolling pins. So that lady was selling them. That is got a couple missing, but I bought them with the pot, just for styling up, really. It's a nice old spoon. So the spoons do sell, but I quite like them for styling up. Maybe put a bunch together, and a nice rolling pin, always buy those. So you can see from what I've got so far, I've got the things that I pick up. So studio pottery, anything wicker storage, and then KitchenAlia is sort of, oh, and then anything. I do quite like nautical, but pictures, frames, but I've got a job for those, so that was why I'd headed for those. A nice old basket. I just like the design of that one. So that could have magazines going in that way, or whatever you want to use that one for. It's a nice one. Fits down the side of, not too big, so fits down the side of somewhere, or utility room kind of thing. This I bought. I just thought it was cute. I love that. But you could have that in the shop, have it for sale, but also have fabrics and stuff, you know, coming out of that. People can then see through, can't they? So a couple of things, if you're keeping, like we talked about, if you're keeping stuff in the shop that's not for sale, but is useful, and then the majority of the stuff you want to be having it for sale as well. But there might be one or two things. Sorry. So I showed you in the shop tour that you've got the bunch of wheat design in the middle there. I showed you in the shop that I'd got one of the jelly moulds, which I had been cracked, and I had actually put it out for £1. Nobody bought it, but it's an old Victorian one, but actually it's useful for having stock in it. So what I'll do is, that one won't be for sale, but I've got a couple in the shop already, and then this one, and have them around so they can see the idea of how to use them now, because it had the French tea towels in, and it could be a little soap dish or something. And then so I've given them the idea of what they could be, and then they can then buy them and they've got all different shapes and sizes. So that's a really nice one, and they sit nicely, sit flat, and I would use them as little soap dishes now, because you want to be able to see this inside bit. This is a little letter. Got a hook at the back so you can hook it up on the wall, and then, you know, on the fridge or something like that. And then it's a little brass hand, and then you can hook or pin your notes, letters or something, so for wherever. Or you can have it, can be flat and have it on your desk if you've got some notes or papers that you want to keep together. Then, but it's an old cast iron saddle rack, but it's for harnesses, sorry. So it would have been in your tack room, and it would have had your harness. So the bridle ones have just got the round thing with one hook underneath usually, or two hooks coming off the same thing. And then this one here, this shape, is for harnesses, so it would have gone across the top there, so it's a bit wider. But these are great now for hallways, utility rooms. So write it up what your uses are, so what it was or what it is, and then your uses now. So they would look great in a utility room with the bags as well. If you've got loads of bags, you could hook them over there. So that's that one. And then prices on that one, probably at £15 or £18. It's not, you can get the much more decorative ones. So it is a nice thing, but yeah, that's sort of about the price on that. Walls ice cream, had these before. They make great planters, but also this one is pretty good inside. So in a kitchen with maybe your recipe books in or something like that. So if you're going to style this in your shop or on your market stall, style it with whatever you think it would look good in. So if you think it's for a kitchen, maybe style it up with, if you put a pot in there, maybe, oh gosh, well, let's knock that one over. Lift it up, so put something inside it, some little boxes or something like that to lift the stuff up, and then style it up with those inside like that, or maybe so you can see them, and it just gives people the idea that it could be kitchen storage. So it could be veg storage as well. Get your potatoes in there. Oh, sorry. And then I did get 3 of these. The other one is in there somewhere. 3 of the old Kilner jars with the glass lids. I have got some more, the older, slightly older ones in the centre, and I think I've got about £11 each on them, something like that. So they've got the nice glass lids on those ones. That is for that. That's the other one of those. Then couple of, that's a French mustard pot, stoneware and little stoneware pot. So when you've got these in your shop or your space, collect them together into a little threesome there. So this is why I collect these utensils. So have your utensils, have them for sale or not for sale, and then collect them together like that in your space, so it shows people what you're doing or what they could do with them. Terracotta pots. These are all quite modern ones, but they're nice and thick ones. So probably on those ones, just give them a wipe out, but don't wash them too much. Make sure they're clean, but don't take any of the colour off them. And then maybe £3 each, something like that on those. £2 or £3, depending on how old they are. What have I got? Oh, here you are, yeah. Bovril bottles. In Ironbridge. So in the one of our tips this week was stocking. Basically, the idea was stocking for your customers. Now, Ironbridge is really touristy. So although you've got people that live here that want stock that's general stock every day, and we get a lot of local people coming in, you get loads of tourist people in the summer particularly. So in the at the museum, which is called Bliss Hill, if anybody's been in there, you'll see that they've got all the different shops, and they're all set up how they were in the Victorian times. They've got a chemist shop and with all the old bottles in, and they've got a grocer's shop, and in there they've got all of these old Victorian Bovril bottles. I've got lots of the similar things that they've got, like the stoneware jars and the old jelly molds and that kind of thing, wicker baskets. So if you've got people that have been to Bliss Hill and they've seen all those lovely things, and then they come into the centre and they can buy something that is the same as they have in the museums, then that's what we're aiming for. So those I would put in Ironbridge, because I know at Bliss Hill they have loads of these on display in the museum, so they can buy those, and they'd probably be, for the little one, maybe £1, and then the bigger ones up to sort of £6 really, something like that, and then in between. So but they're not difficult to find, these aren't, you see them all the time, so they're not rare. There are ones that are the size that are a little bit more rare than others. Nice basket, lovely top. So it's a wicker basket with the plastic, so like 1950s, 1940s, late 1940s, 50s, something like that. Nice basket. So in the shop I'd have those hanging up, have a nice big old wall of baskets or something. Blue and white, and some green and white, just ironstone. That one hasn't got a mark and it's got a couple of chips, so I'd probably on that one put oh, isn't he marked on the side? No. I don't know what I'd put on that, sort of, if it was a willow one, or you know, with stamps, I might put sort of £14 on it. And then these plates, whoops, if I don't smash them before I get a chance to sell them. This is, I just loved it because it looks like a bent wood. When I went to it, I thought, oh, it's a bent wood bread bin, or it looked like a bent wood one, but it's actually pottery. Can't see a mark at the minute, but I'll have a look. And it's got a nice wooden lid. So it's really heavy, so that's nice. And then this is super cute. It's an olive, little olive trug, so it would be made out of olive wood. Fruit bowl now, how lovely is that? So it's very heavy, so that's lovely, and it's all hand carved. And when you're looking for wood, you know, is it handmade, hand carved, you're looking for all the little divots and all the tool marks on that. It's got woodworm up the top here. And then the last thing is, I won't get them all out because there's loads, but I've got, oh God, that's a lid. Plates of this size. So these are Spanish. You also get French ones that are the same, but these are like a tapas. It's a tapas set basically. So you've got a little pot there. And they are new. This one's got a rounded bottom, so that would go over the fire. So it's not, it does sit flattish, but so there's another one of these dishes there, and then there's a bigger one. So these are for in the oven. Bigger one there. Another one. And then you've got the little tapas dishes, so there's quite a few of these. more of those dishes, some of these side plates. But how lovely would these be for sitting when you're outside in the summer in the garden? Maybe you've got a bit of a barbecue, some nice tapas, and you can serve it all up in this. And then you've got little plates. So you've got little plates, bigger plates, like more. These are side dish plates, and you've got your bigger dinner plate size. That bowl is lovely with the little pouring spout. This one is a French one, because this is the same as the one I bought a few weeks ago. Made in France on the bottom there. And then, yeah, it's all been wrapped up. So that's got little dishes like that with the little handles on the side. And I'll show you how they were wrapped up. So they're all absolutely brand new from when they were wrapped up in the shop. Look. So that was that. So that is what I have today. So that's what I got. So I got just to sort it all out, clean it, price it, and decide which shop it goes into. Some of the stuff is, so I'm in Stroud and in Ironbridge. Some of the stuff is more Ironbridge stock, and if you've got more than one place, it might be you've got online and an actual physical shop. You will know that you've got to work out which goes where, depending on, like we said in this week's tips, the kinds of customers you've got in, and also what kind of stock have you already got in your shops. So if you've already got loads and loads of kitchenware and the other shop hasn't, you might want to mix it up and maybe take the stuff that's, if you've had it in one shop for a little while and it hasn't sold, take that over to the other shop and rotate your stock like that. So your fresh stock goes into the shop that has loads of KitchenAid in, and then take the KitchenAid out of that one and move it over to the other one. So just your stock rotation. So it's always fresh in each shop. So because although you will have had that a while, whatever it might be, those pots, your customers in the other shop won't have seen them. So switch your stock round so that you're always adding fresh in. So I'll see you later. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye.